Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. My name is Amjad Atallah. I am the co-chair of the board of directors of Women for Women International. And along with Zeynep Selvi, I am actually one of the founders of the organization. The organization Women for Women was actually founded in 1992, and it was founded specifically to work on Bosnia. When we started, we weren't imagining a global program of projects to assist women who have survived the brutalities of war and to work with them in conflict and post-conflict situations, including the most marginalized people in a community, knowing that they are the bedrock of rebuilding society, knowing that the women play the most prominent and the most, they have the highest return on investment of any possible way that you could invest in a country, any possible way you could invest in a community. When we started this organization because of a horrible war that was happening in Bosnia and Herzegovina. The reason we're going to talk about Bosnia today, however, is because there is a resurgence of ethnic nationalism, especially ethnic nationalism on the Bosnian Serb side, in an attempt to recreate the conflicts and the challenges that existed in the early 1990s. And I actually have with me today the head of Women for Women in Bosnia, Žene International, who has been with the organization almost from the very beginning and has been working with us to try to address these challenges. Seida, right now, thank you so much for being with us. So many of the most heroic human beings that I've met because of the work that Women for Women has done in Bosnia. You are one of them. I am very proud to call you my friend. I'm very proud to know you. And I'm so proud of the work that you and the other women at Žene International have done in Bosnia. So I want to start, first of all, by asking you, you're in Sarajevo now. I want to ask you, yes, how are you doing? How's the program doing? How are the women in the program doing? And what's the current situation?
I would say it absolutely reminds us of 90s. It reminds us of the time just before the war, which happened in 1992. Rhetoric and war propaganda is something that we are hearing every day. Everyone is very nervous and everyone is just expecting what will come out of all of this propaganda. It absolutely creates fear. The people of Bosnia and Herzegovina are quite we are scared, I would say, thinking that possibly war could happen in Bosnia and Herzegovina right now.
Seida, tell us a little bit about Sarajevo. What Sarajevo was like before the war. What society was like.
Sarajevo is very mixed place where, I mean, particularly before the war, which happened, it was very, very mixed with in terms of ethnicity. If I make parallel, Sarajevo today is again place where people, different ethnic groups are living. There are Serbs, there are Croats, predominantly Muslim, because it is a result of the war. But if there is anywhere in Bosnia and Herzegovina place which is multi-ethnic, I would say it is Sarajevo.
I apologize for asking you this question because I know it can be a reminder of the trauma that took place during the siege. But if you could tell us a little bit about what Sarajevo was like during the siege for the audience that, you know, may be unfamiliar with what happened.
So, I mean, Sarajevo is well known as a place which stayed under siege for 4 years, precisely 1,425 days. So it was a siege, which meant that we could not go out of the place, out of Sarajevo, and also it was extremely difficult to bring anything to Sarajevo. International community started to use airport and brought us food. We did not have food. People who put us in a siege cut water, actually turned off water, as well as they cut electricity. So you can imagine how one entire city was living for 4 years without electricity, heating, which was terrible. Sarajevo is a place which is very high. It's like our winters are enormously cold. People are very practical, and we started to build our own by ourselves, like small stoves. So basically, we were burning whatever could be burned, including shoes, including furniture. And at the end of the war, some people even started to burn books.
We actually started the program during the siege, and we actually, our first country director is a good friend of both of ours, Farida Musanovic, who was a music teacher in Sarajevo. And like so many Sarajevans, so many Bosnians, continued doing the work that she believed in, even without access to any of the modern necessities that any of us, I think, could not imagine living without. And she actually, we managed to get money and letters from women in the United States to women in Bosnia, and then that expanded to support also from women in Europe. And in that solidarity model, Farida would actually take the money and the letters to the different buildings where refugees from other parts of Bosnia had come to Sarajevo and were gathering and was providing support to those women. And I remember that we were going from village to village in the suburbs around Sarajevo and meeting refugees, women who internally displaced people, women who had been from other parts of Bosnia, and were enrolling them in our program. And I remember that we were enrolling, and we made it a conscious effort that the staff was multi-ethnic and that the people that we assisted was multi-ethnic. What did it mean to actually be able to have a program that included Orthodox Christian Serbs, Catholic Croats, Muslim Bosniaks, all working together, women working together to assist each other in a solidarity model?
We are very famous organization which really gave opportunity everyone to participate in the program, as well as having people from all ethnic groups who was working in Women for Women for that time. And I have to say that it was so hopeful, and it was fantastic, really, that women did not have any problem. Besides of what happened to them, that they had to leave their houses, and what horrible things happened to them, that they embraced all of these Serbs, Croats, Muslims, and they really tried to live together, and they supported each other. We had our centers. We always worked with group of women. We never worked like individually with women. And I remember in one village, it was one woman it was predominantly Muslim village, and it was one woman who was a Serb, and she was elected to be group leader. it was fantastic, really. And it was very obvious that we, as the organization, will work a lot in terms of reconciliation. It wasn't our product, reconciliation. It was more basically consequence of the work that we are doing. People started to rebuild trust and to give opportunities to each other, to be together, to work together.
You know, there have been efforts by Samantha Powers and others to really make a difference. You know, somebody who cares, I think, very deeply about the situation that's happening in Bosnia. But I was curious, what advice would you have for us as individuals? How can we help women in Bosnia and Herzegovina right now to help them continue to be a positive force for reconciliation and peace?
Help us to keep investing in women, because women are agent of change. Working with women, as we are working, I would say long term, helps women to be very important persons in their community. And by doing and being very important persons and very active, women started to be part even of political parties, where they are changing dynamics, where only men are. And in last elections that we had, 2018, we had around 50 women who were on the list in political parties. We showed and we proved that women can work, women can lead, women are eager to support each other. Doesn't matter what ethnic groups it is. The most important is we have better life. We are having our families with us. They don't have to leave. Women are becoming teachers of democracy in their communities. Women are supporting women from different ethnic groups, bringing all of them together. And they are preserving peace, and they are working towards better tomorrow.
I am confident that with the support of people who are watching, I'm confident that with the support of the work that you're doing and that the work that the women that you have in your program are doing, that we can actually see a better tomorrow. Woman for Woman now works in several countries around the world. And I know that the successful examples from our women centers in Bosnia and in Rwanda and in Kosovo have actually been examples for other countries that are still in the middle of conflict, where we're working, countries where there is still a challenge for women, very active risk situation, such as in Afghanistan and South Sudan and other places. If you want to know how to help Žene in Bosnia, if you want to know about the other work that we do in Rwanda and other places, you can go to womanforwoman.org and you can find out how you can help. So thank you for everything that you're doing. And I hope that this is only the beginning of a number of more positive conversations. And I hope that a lot of people who may have been involved in Bosnia when it happened in the 1990s, when the war happened, find a reason to get back involved. And for people who didn't even know that Bosnia and Herzegovina existed, to get involved for the first time in a very positive and supportive way.
Thank you so much, Amjad. Thank you. And I also hope that this is one of first positive discussion that we are having and we will have. Thank you so much.